there everyone, good afternoon and welcome to this edition of Market Fatafat. I'm Avan Dabash. A quick glimpse of the equity markets and it's 10,971, so we have definitely petered off. While Tata Motors continues to struggle, Grasim, Indiabulls and Eicher as well are in the red. But remember, this is the show where we're flagging off all the stocks to keep on your radar. It's crisp and it's comprehensive. Let's bring on board Mubina. We also have on the technicals Rajesh Palviya. As well joining in is Gaurav Ratnapalki and Siddharth Bhamre in just a moment. Well, let's get started then, Mubina. And deep gashes being seen on JLR. What a complete howler of a performance.
Well, it may be a howler of a performance, and of course, not to mention it had to do more with JLR specific issues, China weakness weighing on demand, etc., etc. But of course, the bottom line of 27,000 crore rupees was more or less naturally even impacted because of those impairment woes. Nevertheless, we're seeing a sharp crack come by, an 18% decline, and I think this is one of the worst days we have witnessed in over 10 years. The question, of course, is, are we overreacting? Well, most analysts do believe that, but you can't help take away the importance of China's role in JLR and in turn in Tata Motors as well. The stock price has now slipped below 150 rupees.
Alright, that's the take coming in on Tata Motors. Clearly, it's the biggest drag that you've seen in the last 10 years. Meantime, let's move on and get in a take on SEAT from the broader end of the market. In fact, a lot of these stocks are just, breaking under, or coming under acute pressure. Rajesh, what is your technical stance? How much further can it slide?
Yeah, if you look at the overall structure, stock is in downtrend, and looking at the near-term structure, now stock is trading below its near-term support level. So I feel that if stocks breaks below 1085 level, then we may see further more negativity or bearishness in the stock, and it can slide towards 1050 to 1035 level. So any pullback action is shorting opportunity in SEAT.
Alright, that's the take coming in, 2.5% down, but more pressure on the cards. Meantime, then let's focus in on some more earnings then, and it's Aurobindo that delivered its numbers as well yesterday, and you did see a fairly decent set of numbers that the company managed to deliver. In fact, it was strong across the board. The top line growth was high by 11% at 5,269 crore rupees. The profits came in at 700 plus crores, margins at 20.6%, and the US sales came in way ahead of what the street was anticipating at $339 million. The gross margins at 54.6%, with the net debt as well reducing on a year-on-year basis. 759 though under pressure for Aurobindo. Meantime, Mubina, let's talk about another newsmaker, and Indiabulls Housing. There is some talk of SoftBank investing, but despite that, the stock is under pressure.
Well, that it is 4.5% gone. But yes, the news is that SoftBank Group Bank is investing about a $440 million sum. That's approximately a little over 3,000 crore rupees in UK-based Oak North Bank, which counts Indiabulls Housing Finance as a shareholder. So SoftBank's investment in Oak North will increase the equity capital in the bank to 7,000 crores, and this is what Indiabulls Housing has said in a stock exchange filing. It did not, however, say if the deal involves selling part of its stake to SoftBank, but this is something that perhaps is a big newsmaker for the NBFC.
Oh yes, indeed it is. With 4.5% now still struggling in trade at 622. Meantime, it's Gaurav Bissa who we have with us on board. Apologies for that, from LKP Securities. So Gaurav, let's talk about Raymond. It's holding out quite smartly. Why is your call a sell?
If you look at the charts, yesterday gave a breakdown below levels of 730, tried to retest the levels, and then again it saw a good correction coming towards the level of 650, 655, and from there on we have seen the stock bouncing back. Today also it tried to retest the breakout levels, but it did not close above it. For me, it would be sell and rise till the time it does not close above 730. On technical patterns, we generally see the stocks trying to retest the patterns, and if those retests are failed, it generally leads to the continuation of trends. So on that premise, I would not short at the current prices definitely, but on rises, it's a sell on rise.
Alright, sell on a rally if it sustains below 730, says Gaurav. Meantime, let's pull up another tire stock. We just flagged off SEAT. Now what's the verdict on MRF? Siddharth?
Well, if you look at tire stocks, not from today's perspective, but from positional perspective, then SEAT and Apollo Tyres were showing some bounce back. Today even SEAT has gone down, but MRF, this stock is in a positional downward trend. Now we did see that 59,200 was a support, near that light support. Now since last two trading sessions we are seeing there is a breakdown from that level, and today as you can see on the screen, stock is down by 4%. There is substantial formation of short positions, and look at the volumes in cash market, they are substantially higher than any recent averages you pull out. So all in all, it's a downward trend, and stock is underperforming within a weak sector.
All right, that's the take. 56,840, 4% down. Selling pressure likely to continue. And so that, let's also flag off Union Bank.
Well, that's again a stock which we are seeing, formation of short positions. It has breached some important supports. If you look at Union Bank, then apart from formation of short positions, there was a support around 76-78 zone, which has been breached decisively. As you can see on your screen, stock is down by 6%, and volumes again here are quite high, indicating that it is not just futures but also in the cash market selling pressure is pretty evident.
That's the view coming in, but it is M&M that for M&M, it's not been the best of quarters. The stock as we speak is at 685. Tell you what, we slip into a short break, come right back for more. Back with Market Fatafat, lots of earnings are trickling in at the bottom of your screen, so do keep an eye out as to what the numbers are. But for now, we're wrapping up and continuing the countdown on Market Fatafat. So Rajesh, let's talk about the next stock from the Pharma Pack. What's your take on Glenmark?
Yeah, if you look at the near-term structure, stock is struggling to cross its 50-day as well as 100-day moving average. Now stock is approaching towards its 200-day moving average. So looking at the structure, stock is showing weakness. So my advice would be any pullback action is shorting opportunity. 635 should be the stop loss, and I am expecting the lower side target of 590 for Glenmark.
All right, it's 590. That's the level to watch out for. It's a short candidate. Meantime, from the sugar pocket, it's Bajaj Hindustan as well. That's a casualty today. In fact, Gaurav, do you believe that we could see this trend continue?
Which stock are you talking about?
I'm sorry, that's Bajaj Hindustan. That's holding out in trade today. What exactly is the trend, Gaurav, on Bajaj Hindustan?
The stock has a medium-term support levels of 7.4, 7.5, and I will not create fresh buy here. It has a strong resistance at 8.2, where the 200 DMA is placed. So you buy once it gives a close above 8.2, there will be a breakout towards the level of 9.2, 9.5, and then the stop loss can be 7.5. Here, if somebody wants, it will be a little bit risky, but keep a stop loss of 7.4 and buy.
Right, that's the take coming in on Bajaj Hindustan. But on that note, we're out of time right here on the show. So thanks so much, gentlemen, for joining in. And coming up next is Closing Trades.